Hello and welcome to another episode of my Productivity Mastery series. My name is Carl Pauline. This week I want to talk to you about some results that I have discovered after looking through all my coaching notes. Now this week I noticed that I've been doing one-to-one coaching now for about 2.5 years. So I've built up quite a lot of notes based on some of the common factors that I find many of my clients are experiencing when they having difficulty with their productivity and time management and indeed goal planning. But I was more interested in the productivity and the time management side. Now the biggest cause of people's problems is overthinking the issue. And what I mean by that is people are overthinking their whole productivity system. And what we need to be doing is building systems that work for us. Now, a few years ago, I went through pretty much every video on the GTD YouTube channel, and there's a lot of stuff there. I listened to pretty much everything that David Allen was talking about. I watched his videos about how he processes inbox. I watched his videos about interruptions. I watched a lot of his content, and I built up quite a lot of knowledge about GTD around and outside of the book. But as I was watching all that stuff, I realized there's no way any of that would work for me. And yet at the time I thought, no, I have to follow this system because David Allen says, or because Michael Hyatt says, because I've watched some of his stuff, or because Robin Sharma says, I have to do it this way. No, the thing is, no, you don't have to do it that way. What you have to do is find a way that works for you. And in many cases, it's really about pick and mix. You're picking stuff and mixing stuff. Now, when I realized all this, which was probably late last year, I'm a bit late to the party on this one, I ended up developing a system that really works for me, and it all worked around the C.O.D system. And for those of you who've been following my channel for a while, you know about the C.O.D system. That's collecting everything that means something to you, organizing it at the end of the day, and making sure you spend enough time doing the work to get it done. Very simple. But how you organize your stuff, how you organize projects, how you organize your tasks, that is really entirely up to you. My work is very routinal. You know, I do these videos every Thursday and Friday. I write my blog posts on a Monday. I prepare the podcast on a Tuesday. It's fixed in my calendar. They're not individual projects. But according to David Allen on GTD book, they are individual projects. But I don't see it that way. I just see it as part of my routine work. And this is why you need to step back and look at your whole system. Are you overthinking things? Have you built a project hierarchy that is way complicated? Because there was a client of mine I was talking to last week, and he was going through how he processes his system, and he was showing me through screen sharing how he does this. And he was creating tasks and then adding labels. And yet never has he ever used his labels list in order to manage his projects. He never goes there. So I asked, why are you using labels? And he says, well, everybody uses labels. Well, you see, the thing is, that's not strictly true. Many people have discovered labels are not for them. So if you find you're labeling tasks, but then you never go into a labels list, then don't use labels. They're not useful to you. If you do find that you go into labels and you're using labels regularly and you're looking at your labels list, great, then use them. But it really does depend on whether you use them or you don't use them. For me, my system is I don't need projects or labels. I just have tasks that I like to organize by when I'm going to do them. So I'm going to do them this week or next week, later this month, next month, or whenever. I just make a decision when I do my weekly planning session on a Sunday when I'm going to do my tasks, and that's it. My weekly review is actually very, very quick. But I've gone through the process of following the GTD rules or the whatever system I've suddenly come across. I've gone through it and I've tested it and tried it, and I've discovered that they haven't worked for me. But that said, I have picked and mixed a lot of systems over the years that have developed for me. One of the most powerful systems I ever came across was the Franklin Planner and organizing by priority. I do use priorities. Now, according to the GTD book, you know, the old A1, B2, C1, whatever, does not work. Well, it does. It works for me. probably doesn't work for David Allen or other people in the Getting Things Done community, but that doesn't mean they are wrong. It doesn't mean that I'm wrong. It just means that I found a system that works beautifully for me. And this is one of the key things, is stop overthinking things and just focus on what you're trying to accomplish. What you want to accomplish is you want to know what needs doing today and having a plan to deal with tomorrow and the other things that you want to do this week. That's really all you want to do. Now, how you organize all that really needs to work for your brain. One of my coaching clients I've had in the past was a retired software engineer, and his system, when I looked at it, just made me, it just looked so complex. But when he ran through it for me, wow, it was so beautifully smooth. The way he could immediately identify what he needed to see, when he needed to see it, and how he needed to see it. It worked for him. But there was no way that system would have ever worked for me. Plus, he's doing a completely different job to what I'm doing. His work is different to me, and your work is different to me, and the way we all work is different. So the big key message in this video this week is, please develop your own system. Don't overthink it. Just because somebody else is doing it one way doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. You need to find something that works for you, and it does take time. Be patient, keep things as simple as you possibly can, and never lose sight of that purpose and that objective, which is to develop a system that tells you what you need to do, allows you to collect everything that needs to be collected, and minimizes the organizing time. Get that right, and you've got a beautiful, fantastic productivity system. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode, and it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. Now, I have a question for you. Are you ready to go beyond the to-do list? Now, I asked that question because building a to-do list, building an organization system is really the first step to mastering the art of productivity. If you really want to take yourself to the next level and you really want to automate the whole process, then you need to start using workflows. You need to start building workflows, because it's the work that you do consistently over a period of time that completes projects, achieves goals, and takes you to accomplish the things that you really want to accomplish in your life. And that's why I developed my Productivity Masterclass series, building your very own custom workflows. Now, this is a course that is kind of on the advanced level. It's designed to get you to go beyond the to-do list, which many of us have spent many hours building, and it's designed to take you to the very next level so that your whole system is automated, so you can make decisions really quickly about what it is you want to do today, this week, this month, and this year, and build it into your daily workflows that takes you towards accomplish them. Now, I would love to see you in this course. The details of my Productivity Masterclass course, building your very own custom workflows, are in the show notes below. I would love to see you in the course. I'm sure you will not be disappointed. It'd be great for you to join us. Thank you very much for watching this. It just remains for me now to wish you again a very, very productive week.